Hi everyone. Today I'm going to talk about spirit boards. So I had a fellow witch who was just rediscovering herself and her craft, message me about her recent experiences with a spirit board. It's a tool she's building a relationship with, and through this process has discovered that she holds some energetic resistance to it. She's clearly aware that she's skeptical, but there's some deeper resistance, and she was seeking my insight to her experience. The resistance that she's experienced, I suggested to her, was a fear. Now, I believe that a lot of people are afraid of using spirit boards because they carry this bad reputation. And in part, I believe they carry this reputation because of the plethora of movies that have been made filled with the propaganda that they are inherently evil, which they're not. Spirit boards are a tool, and just like any other tool, they're not inherently evil. For example, a cell phone. A cell phone allows us to communicate with another being that is not within our immediate sphere of perception. And while I would suggest, with a chuckle, yes, smartphones are inherently evil, they're not, and spirit boards are not either. In addition, many individuals have a primal fear of death and the possibilities of what lies beyond physical dying. The media, including Hollywood, use that fear to shock us and, in essence, control us. Even if we believe that we're not afraid of spirit boards, it's possible that we do hold a little bit of fear about death, which can be intimately tied to the unconscious fear of the board. There's an association we make there. Our most primal self does everything possible to stay alive. It's afraid to die. So if there is a suggestion that the board has the potential to summon death, capital D, then the individual will experience resistance to the board, the very thing that causes its demise. But spirit boards are simply tools. Tools without a skilled individual to use them are useless or potentially dangerous. While every tool used by a human being absorbs and contains the spiritual energy of that which touches it, the board in and of itself has no individual spirit, though it can and may retain one. Using the metaphor of the cell phone I just previously brought to your attention, the phone has a programmed number attached to it, which is assigned to an individual or business, and in the same way, the spirit board could resonate with an energetic frequency that resonates with a specific spiritual entity. But this is not always the situation. Most spirit boards are similar to public phones, a rarity these days, I will agree, or a burner phone. Anyone can use it to contact someone else without owning it or become bonded to it. Spirit board sessions held by an individual are similar to engaging in an automatic writing session, where the individual releases their awareness to the present time and falls into a meditative trance and allows their hands to move or be moved by a non-physical spiritual entity without concern or awareness as to where the pen or planchette is being moved to. This experience occurs because a connection has been established between the physical and spiritual realms by the human being. He or she is the conduit, the bridge, the channel for the messages to pass between the realms. Now, many people will warn you, the board should never be used alone. This caution originates in fear, which I have addressed already. While there are benefits to working in pairs, it's not necessary, and creepy things can occur whether you are alone or with others. I've found that oftentimes the more people present during a session is a direct influence and contribution to the occurrence of creepy things. The true protection against creepy or scary or, dare I say, demonic occurrences is having knowledge pertaining to the tool and its purpose. In this instance, the purpose for a spirit board is spirit communication or necromancy. Now, The greatest benefit I have encountered with working with a partner during a session is verification. I have a tendency to be skeptical and feel that I personally influence the message I receive through the board, meaning that I have my own mind created or manipulated a message, and I'm concerned that I have then received that which I want to hear and not that which is genuinely being shared with me. A partner would, at the very least, keep the messages untainted. Unlike in an automatic writing session where there is just me, in a spirit board session, there are two individuals actively involved, and so both must be in resonance or unconscious agreement with where the planchette will move on the board in response to the posed question. This allows me freedom to believe in what is being communicated during this session, and I don't tend to doubt it as much as if I work alone. It is because we are communicating with timeless spiritual entities that there is a vast well of knowledge that can be shared, and sometimes I find that the words spelled out on the board may be obscure or in a language that I or someone else may not readily comprehend, but that does not make it any less authentic. In fact, sometimes it adds a depth that could not be relayed by common English, giving it greater value. And in my personal case, it gives me evidence that they are words I didn't already have available in my mind, proving to me that the message wasn't one I created for my own comfort or my own desire. And I am unable to recall a specific example of this with the spirit board, but within a seance with others, I allowed spirits to use my physical body to communicate. This is known as trance mediumship, and while doing so, the spirit entity responded to a question with a word that seemed at first to sort of be gibberish. It was only because we digitally recorded the session that I could transcribe later that we were able to research the unusual word, or ichi, which we found was Japanese for meaning here in this place. In the context of the session and the questions being asked, it made perfect sense and provided the group with a greater understanding of the question or what was being sought. So the last point I want to say in regards to this email and the idea that the question asked of the spirit board, the questions don't need to be spoken aloud because the human voice is a tool created for us to use in the physical realm. It is a sound that is made by, heard by, and felt by the physical body, which is the primary vessel for the spirit while incarnated in physical form and experience a incarnated life. The sound is a manifestation of a concept that originated in the non-physical. The idea already existed before it was manifested through the voice. So any words we write or speak are manifestations of a thought that abides in the mental, non-physical, or spiritual realm. So when we receive messages from the spirit realm, frequently, in many ways, though not all, are manifested as when a spirit board is utilized. So understanding that all spoken words, sentences, questions are just manifested thoughts, it is clear that when using the board, the individual need not vocalize their question in order for that question to be answered, because both the spiritual entity and the origination of the question is already in spiritual form. So if you have questions in regards to spirit boards, or you have experiences that you'd like to share with spirit boards, I'd love to hear them. So please leave a comment and share. And as always, I love you. Blessed be.